Hi everybody, it's Cassandra again, and I just wanted to take a minute to do a couple of updates. First of all, I have my first ever subscriber on my YouTube channel. I don't know who it is. Please don't tell me if it's you. I just like the idea that I have exactly one subscriber, and it makes me happy to know that it's a start. I mean, it's only one, but it's the beginning, so I'm happy about that. It's my first ever, so yay. Anyway, I wanted to take this moment to talk about some things. A friend of mine said that maybe I should take the time to write down some of the things that I'm going through, some of my experiences, and the things that I've noticed during my transition, and maybe write a book. I'm not a writer. I've never been much of a writer, but I do like to talk, and I like this whole YouTube channel video vlog thing. So I thought this would be a better way to express some of the things that I've noticed. And so I wanted to take this moment to do kind of some of the things I've noticed since I started my transition that I didn't honestly expect or I didn't anticipate. I'll start out with pockets. Oh my God. What is it about the people who design women's jeans who decided, I don't think they need pockets. Nobody needs pockets. We're not going to have pockets. And I don't know what that accent was. I have no idea. But anyway, some of my jeans don't have front pockets. Some don't have back pockets. Some have no pockets at all. And some that do have pockets have such tiny little pockets, you couldn't fit anything in it. It's just there for decoration. And I get that, it's for the lines or the silhouette or whatever. But if you're going to put pockets on there, make them at least usable. I carry a purse sometimes, but sometimes you just don't want to have to carry a purse. And, if you're going somewhere where it's going to be a burden, you just want to stick a couple of things in your pockets, you're going to have to either find men's jeans or just have smaller things to put in your pockets. Unfortunately, I can't make my keys any smaller. They don't make them smaller. So that's my first gripe, and my first thing that I noticed that it's going to take some getting used to. People that's a big one for me. That some of the things that I've noticed since my transition are how people are responding to me. And I'll start out with the people that knew me before. The people that knew me before my transition, I was absolutely convinced I was going to lose a lot of friends. That most of the people that were in my life would probably still be in my life, but I was going to lose a lot of them because they were going to distance themselves from me, or they don't want anything to do with somebody like me, or whatever. And I've been really, really, really fortunate and pleasantly surprised to find that most people just don't care. They don't care what I'm going through. They don't care how I'm transitioning or whatever. They're just still my friend. They don't care if I'm male, female, black, purple, orange, polka dot, spotted, short, tall, blonde, brunette. They don't care. They're my friend, period. And that is so refreshing to me. That is so incredibly cool that they're happy for me. They're supportive of me, that they're at least there still, even if they're not outwardly expressing support. And that's so wonderful to me and so unexpected. I really, really thought a few of them would fall away. And as a matter of fact, I think I've actually gained more friends since I started my transition than I had before. So, that's great. And now I'm going to go to the other side of it, the people that didn't know me before. And I admit that I don't exactly, I guess, I don't know what the word is, but I don't exactly come off as a traditional woman. And I don't know if it's the way I talk, the way I act, the way I sit, the way I stand, the way I whatever. But most of the time people kind of pick up that there's something just a little bit off about that girl. And generally they don't ask me about it. They'll ask someone around me. Hey, what's up with that Cassandra chick? And again, I don't really care. If they'd ask me directly, I would tell them that, yeah, Cassandra wasn't always my name. I had a different name before. And so anyway, they'll ask someone around me, and that person will, for lack of a better word, out me and tell them that, Cassandra used to be somebody else, and she changed her name, and yada, yada, yada. And it's a little, I know they're trying to do it discreetly. I know they're trying to do it considerably to not just directly walk up to me and go, hey, did you used to be a boy? But at the same time, it's a little bit rude, and it's really none of their concern, but I'm really not all that worried about it. I don't exactly wear on my sleeve that I'm transgender, but I don't mind telling people. I don't mind admitting it. I don't try to hide it. And so, if they just came to me and said, hey, are you transgender? What gave me away? What would make you think that? How would you know? But I would tell them that, yeah, I am. And that's fine. That's who I am. And I have no problem admitting that. I'm not ashamed of it. But most of the time, the people that don't know me, the people that don't directly deal with me, don't notice me at all. And that's one of the biggest surprises of my life, that I was absolutely convinced that when I went out in public as myself, that I would be a sore thumb, that I would have a spotlight on me everywhere I went, that people would be pointing and laughing and snickering and making jokes. And that doesn't happen. When I go out in public, people don't point at me or laugh at me or snicker at me. They don't even notice me because they have their own lives. People are noticing their own things. They're looking down at the floor, they're looking at their phone, they're looking at their kids, or they're looking for the groceries that they're trying to buy or whatever, and they don't have a whole lot of concern for me. So I don't know why I had that irrational fear, but it's absolutely unfounded. There's no reason for it. Now, I will admit that occasionally I do get, and generally the kids are the ones you have to worry about, the little kids. But for the most part, I don't have anybody that really even notices me. And when I do, it's generally a little kid who will say something to their parents about, what's wrong with that girl? Why does that girl look that way? Or whatever. And it doesn't bother me. It used to, but it rolls off me a lot easier these days. And I know that kids are just brutally honest. That's what they do. And they can notice stuff that adults just don't notice. So, yeah, it's one of the beautiful things about kids, that it's kind of also a pain in the ass. But anyway, that's that. Couple of things that have changed since I started my transition I really did not see coming. I've shrunk a little bit. I used to be almost 6 feet tall, and now I'm about 5'10". So I've lost about 1.5 inches. I know there's a scientific explanation for that. My endocrinologist tells me it's perfectly normal, but I don't really understand it because my bones are still the same size. So if you can figure it out, you tell me. The same thing for my shoe size. I've lost almost 2 shoe sizes, which is great because now I can buy shoes in a normal shoe department somewhere. But at the same time, it's kind of a trade-off because I don't have as much support as I did before, because I used to be walking around on these giant boats, and now they're a little bit smaller, and it's like I feel like I'm going to teeter over sometimes. But it's still kind of nice to be able to buy shoes in a regular shoe department as opposed to having to order everything online because my feet are just these enormous canoes. Something that, and this is a serious one, that I've really noticed, especially of late, and I'm a little bit over a year into my transition now, but I've noticed that I am tired all the time. And not just tired, but weak. I mean, I just feel like I can't do anything. I don't have the motivation, I don't have the drive, and I don't have the energy to do anything. An example of that is, I used to be one of those people that no matter how many groceries I bought, I would always try to get them in the house in one trip. You try to get as many of them in one trip as you can, because I'd rather have both my arms fall off than have to make a second trip to the car. That is absolutely not true anymore. Oh, no, God, no. I'll grab a couple of bags and, okay, I guess I'm going to make a second trip. I might sit down for a minute and take a breather before I go back out, but I still have to go back out and get the rest of the groceries because I'm not going to try to do it all at once like I used to. I just don't have the upper body strength that I used to have. And by the time it's done with all the groceries, getting everything in and put up and put away and throw away the bags and all that good stuff, I'm so tired I don't want to make dinner anymore, and I generally just order a pizza or something. The last thing I want to talk about are prices. And I know that some of you are aware of the pink tax, and it's absolutely real. It really is. That the exact same item, if made specifically for women, it's going to be more expensive than the same item made specifically for men. A good example of that is deodorant. It's the exact same chemical formula. The only difference is the fragrance is different. And if you make it pink or purple or lavender or whatever, specifically catered to women, it's going to be just a little bit more expensive than its exact counterpart that's made for men. And I really don't understand that. The same thing is true of like razors, or the big one is clothes. Clothing is so expensive, and it makes no sense because women's clothing is generally thinner. It has less material in it, and it's still more expensive than a similar item for men. A t-shirt, for instance. You can go to Walmart and buy a t-shirt for $2 in the men's department. That exact shirt in the women's department is like $10. And I don't want to buy a shirt in the men's department if I can help it, but I admit sometimes I do because it's just, I'm going to wear this to work and get it ruined anyway. What do I care? But still, it's not quite fair that the exact same item should cost more just because it has a tag that says, made for women or whatever. And the materials that women's clothing are made of are generally so thin that you have to wear more than one layer. So they're getting you twice. They get you, first of all, because each layer is more expensive, and secondly, because if you don't wear a second layer, then things are showing that probably shouldn't be showing. And in my case, that is very much my stomach. No one wants to see my stomach, and I really don't want anyone to see my stomach because it's not something anyone wants to see. So the shirts that are made too short, the little crop top shirts, no, I'm not having any of that. I want my shirts to go all the way to my jeans, maybe even a little bit further. If they could just go to the floor, that's fine too. But anyway, I can't think of anything else that I wanted to pass along right now. I'm sure I'll think of some more later, but those are some of my gripes and some of the things that I've noticed since my transition that have really, really kind of thrown me off that I was not anticipating. But thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. And thank you again to my one subscriber. And, God bless you, whoever you are. But I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye.